What if the reason he doesn't see you as the one is because you've been trying too hard to prove it? Read that again. Because sometimes the more you chase, the more you fade into the background. It's not because you're not enough. It's because the moment you start chasing, the moment you start proving, he stops wondering. He stops seeing you as a mystery. And a woman who holds mystery, she holds power. A man does not fall in love when you are always available. He falls when he starts to feel your presence, even in your silence. He falls when he senses your energy without needing your words. He sees you as the one when you stop trying to convince him and start walking like you already know you are. Plato once said, "Beauty of style and harmony and grace and good rhythm depend on simplicity," and it's true, especially in love. It's not the woman who shouts the loudest that stays in his heart. It's the one who knows when to speak and when to let her absence do the talking. When you stop chasing, you allow space for him to feel your value on his own. And that is when the shift begins. Think of a flame, not the wild kind that burns everything in sight, but the slow, steady one. The kind that doesn't beg to be noticed but still warms the whole room. That's you. That's what he remembers. That's what draws him in when no one else can. A man sees her as the one not because she tried to make him see, but because she became unforgettable without saying a word. Right now you might feel tired. You've given, you've tried, you've waited. You might be wondering what more you can do to make him choose you. But maybe the answer isn't in doing more. Maybe the answer is in stepping back, in rising up, in becoming someone who no longer waits for his eyes to open, because your light speaks for itself. And this is the moment where everything changes. Because this is not about chasing. This is about becoming. This is not about forcing love. This is about stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need to be chosen to feel worthy. And when you become that woman, when you learn to live like a queen, love will follow you, not the other way around. So, lovely woman, breathe. You are not here to beg for love. You are here to be remembered. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power that's always lived inside you, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you real, honest, and healing content because you deserve to feel seen, supported, and unstoppable. Number 1. He sees you as the one. When your presence feels like peace, not pressure. Have you ever noticed how a man pays more attention when you're not trying to impress him at all? When your energy feels light, your smile is real, and your heart is still. That's not an accident. That's the moment he starts seeing you differently, not as someone trying to win him over, but as the woman he never wants to lose. Because a man doesn't fall for pressure, he falls for peace. And when your presence feels like home, not a battlefield, that's when he sees you as the one, without you lifting a single finger to chase him. There's a quiet power in a woman who no longer fights to be noticed, in the way she carries herself, in how she walks into a room and brings calm instead of chaos, in how she listens without needing to speak. A man notices that. He feels it. And the truth is, the moment he feels peace with you, he starts to fear the thought of life without you. Peace is not the absence of noise, it's the presence of clarity. That clarity shows up when you stop overthinking, stop explaining, stop reaching, and start simply being. You don't have to convince him. Your peace already speaks louder than your words ever could. Think of a quiet lake at sunrise. No waves, no storm, just stillness, beauty, and reflection. That lake doesn't move to be seen, and yet people stop just to admire it. That's who you are when you stop chasing love and start living in your worth. He doesn't need you to chase him to see you. He needs space to feel what it's like without you. And when you give him that, when your presence feels like that calm lake, he'll keep coming back to it. Maybe you've been carrying the weight of proving yourself, Maybe you've been trying to show him you're different. But lovely woman, this is not how you'll be chosen. This is how you'll be drained. The real shift happens when you stop trying to earn love and start being the kind of peace he can't live without. So now, live in that calm, own that power. You're not broken, you're a storm that has learned to be still. And from this stillness, your reign begins. Affirm this in the comments, queens. My peace is my power. Write it loud. Write it proud. And if this message spoke to your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you life-changing truths because you were never meant to chase love. You were meant to reign. Number 2, he realizes you're the one. When you walk away from what doesn't water you. Have you ever watered a dead plant, hoping it would bloom again? Have you ever poured your love, your time, your heart into a man who never truly showed up for you, yet still hoped he would one day see your worth? That moment right there, when you realize you've been giving to something that gives you nothing back, that's the moment everything begins to change. Because a man does not see you as the one while you're chasing him. He sees it the second you stop, turn away, and choose yourself instead. When you walk away from what doesn't water you, you are not being cold. You are finally being kind to your own soul. You are not giving up. You are rising up. And that is when something shifts in him. That is when he starts to feel what your presence used to offer. That is when the silence becomes louder than every word you ever spoke. Because the woman who walks away with her head held high, she leaves a mark he can never forget. Don't light yourself on fire just to keep someone else warm. That truth is hard, but it's necessary. You were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be met with it. And a man only starts to see that when he looks for your warmth and realizes it's gone. You are not asking him to see you anymore. You are letting him feel the absence of what he once took for granted. Imagine a garden that grows wild and free. Not because someone tended to it daily, but because the soil was rich, the roots were deep, and the light was enough. That's you when you stop chasing. That's you when you begin to bloom in your own light without begging for his. Right now you might feel empty, but this is not the end. This is your rebirth. Because when you finally walk away from the man who didn't water your heart, you step into the woman who no longer waits for a love that doesn't match her depth. And that beautiful woman is when he finally sees what he lost. Dear lady, the truth is, he will never forget the day you chose yourself, the day you stopped shrinking to fit into his world, the day you walked away, not because you stopped loving him, but because you started loving you. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. I walk away from what doesn't water me. Let the world know your worth can no longer be ignored. And if this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your power, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the lessons, the truth, and the healing you deserve. Because you were never meant to chase, you were born to reign. Number 3, he sees you differently when you stop competing and start glowing. Have you ever wondered why he stopped noticing you the moment you started trying too hard to be seen? Why it felt like the more you did, the less he cared? It's not because you weren't enough. It's because the second you started competing, the light inside you dimmed. He didn't stop looking because you lacked value. He stopped looking because you stopped glowing. A man doesn't fall for a woman who blends in. He falls for the woman who rises, not above others, but above the need to compare herself. He sees her differently when she no longer fights for his attention, but instead becomes a presence too powerful to ignore. When she stops asking, "What does she have that I don't?" and starts saying, "What do I already have that makes me irreplaceable?" That's when everything shifts. There's a quote that says, "The flower does not think of competing with the one next to it. It just blooms." You don't need to outshine her. You only need to shine as you. Because the moment you stop chasing validation and start watering your own roots, you become a woman who glows without trying. And he sees that, he feels that. He starts to wonder how he ever missed it. Think of the moon. It never begs for attention. It doesn't scream or struggle to be noticed. It simply rises, and the whole world looks up. You are that moon. And when you stop trying to compete with every star, he starts to see the glow that was always meant to guide him. Right now, maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've compared yourself to her. Maybe you've bent yourself trying to match what you thought he wanted. But this is not the end. This is the moment you stop competing and start reclaiming your light. This is the moment you stop proving and start becoming. You were never made to chase. You were made to rise, and the moment you begin to live as the woman who needs no comparison, that's when he sees you as the one. Not because you chased, but because you became. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. I do not compete. I glow. Let this be your truth. Let this be your turning point. We are here working hard to bring you powerful, life-changing lessons, because you were never meant to be a choice. You were meant to reign. Number 4. He sees you as irreplaceable when you respect yourself more than you crave his love. Have you ever asked yourself why he starts losing interest the moment you start trying harder? Why the more you give, the less he sees you? It's not because you weren't enough. It's because, in that moment, you forgot that the woman who knows her worth doesn't need to chase love. She becomes it. A man does not see a woman as irreplaceable when she bends over backward to keep him. He sees her as the one when she refuses to lose herself just to keep his love. A man remembers the woman who walked away when she wasn't being valued. He feels the absence of the one who didn't fight for a space in his life because she knew she was the space. Never trade respect for attention, they say. And in love, that couldn't be more true. The moment you put your self-worth above his approval, something shifts. He may not admit it, but he notices. He starts to wonder why you're not chasing, why you're no longer trying. That wondering, that's where attraction is born. Imagine a rose in the wild. It doesn't grow by asking the sun for light. It doesn't beg the rain to fall. It just stands tall, rooted, beautiful, unshaken. And those who see it, they either cherish it or they walk away and live with the regret. You are that rose. You are not here to shrink for a man who cannot hold your power. And when he sees you rise from the pain, untouched by the silence, steady in your self-respect, he sees a woman he cannot replace. Right now, you may feel like pulling him closer, explaining yourself again, proving your love one more time. But that love you're trying to give him, give it to yourself. Show him that you will not break your own heart just to fix his comfort. Let your silence echo louder than your pleas. Because the moment he sees that you've chosen yourself over the need to be chosen by him, that's the moment he will finally see you. So now, step forward. This is not your weakness, it's your becoming. You are not broken. You are the foundation of something unshakable. You are not begging to be loved. You are rising to be remembered. Affirm this and write it in the comments, queens. My self-respect is louder than my longing. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons because, queens, you were never meant to chase. You were meant to reign. Number 5. He falls for you when you show him you're the table, not a seat at it. Have you ever wondered why he can't seem to commit? Why he doesn't treat you like the one even though you gave him everything? Maybe it's because he doesn't see you as the prize, not because you're not valuable, but because you've been sitting at a table you built, acting like you're lucky just to be invited. But the truth? He's the one who's lucky. He just doesn't know it yet. A man does not fall for the woman who chases. He falls for the woman who builds, the one who doesn't just bring something to the table, but is the table. the one who stops shrinking to fit into his world and starts expanding her own. The moment you stop waiting for him to choose you is the moment he starts realizing you were the choice all along. There's a saying, a strong woman doesn't beg to be loved, she chooses to be respected. When you know your value, you stop trying to earn a seat in his life. You build your own table, your own space, your own world, and you let him see if he's worthy enough to sit with you. That's when things shift. That's when he starts seeing you differently, not as an option, but as the only one. Think of a garden. You've watered it, planted every seed, done all the work. Now imagine someone walking in and acting like they did all of it. That's what happens when you chase. But when you step back and let your garden grow, let the flowers bloom on their own, he will be drawn to what he can't control, to what thrives without him. That's real attraction. That's power. You may feel tired right now. You may feel like you've done everything, and he still doesn't see your worth. But lovely woman, this is not your end. This is your shift. This is where you stop begging to be chosen and start choosing yourself. And when you do, he will notice. He will feel it. He will realize he never held the power. You always did. So rise. Build your table. Be the force he never expected. And if he's smart enough to see it, he'll come with respect. If not, you'll already be too far ahead. Queens, write this affirmation in the comments and claim your power. I am the table. He rises to meet me, or he watches from afar. And if this message sparked something inside you, if it reminded you of your worth, your strength, your fire, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you life-changing lessons that remind you who you've always been, a woman who never needed to chase, just needed to reign. Number 6. He sees you as the one when you love without losing yourself. Have you ever given your all to love, only to feel like you've lost yourself in the process? Like you were fading in the background while trying to be everything he needed? That quiet ache, that exhaustion deep in your chest, it doesn't come from love. It comes from forgetting you while trying to hold on to him. And here's the truth no one told you. A man sees you as the one, not when you give him all of you, but when you keep the best parts for yourself. When you start loving without losing yourself, everything changes. He begins to see the difference between a woman who clings and a woman who commands. You're not desperate to fit in his world. You are your own world. And when he sees that, he can't look away. You stop chasing him, and he starts realizing this is the kind of love that cannot be replaced. As Rumi said, don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure. And right now, that pain, it's your turning point. It's showing you the cost of pouring from an empty cup. It's reminding you that the love you gave him must now be returned to the most important person in your life, you. Think of a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships. It doesn't beg for attention. It stands firm, glowing, guiding, but never losing its place. That's you. When you stand in your light, without shrinking for love, you become unforgettable. Not because you chased him, but because you stopped needing to. He notices when you no longer text first. He feels it when you stop checking if he's online. He realizes your worth the moment you remember it yourself. That's when you become the one. Not through pressure, but through power. Not by chasing him, but by returning to yourself. So, lovely woman, stop breaking into pieces trying to keep his love. Start becoming whole again. Rebuild your soul, your joy, your peace, because once you do, love will come looking for you. And now, it's time to rise, not as the woman who was left waiting, but as the queen who no longer begs to be seen. You were never just enough. You were always more than he could handle. Write this in the comments and claim it. I love without losing myself. Queens, let the world know you're done chasing, you're done shrinking, you're stepping into your reign. We are working hard to bring you honest, powerful, and life-changing lessons because you deserve love that never costs you your crown. Number 7. He comes closer when you stop chasing and start reigning. Have you ever noticed how the moment you stop trying to get his attention, he suddenly starts noticing everything about you? The way you smile, the way you carry yourself, the way you glow without needing him. It's strange, isn't it? When you give too much, when you chase too hard, it pushes him away. But when you pull your energy back, when you rise into yourself, that's when he starts coming closer. A man does not fall in love with the woman who loses herself for him. He falls when he feels her presence without her needing to explain it, when she is calm in her power, when she stops begging and starts building. He doesn't see you as the one when you are chasing him. He sees it when you stop moving toward him and start moving upward. As the saying goes, a lioness doesn't turn when a small dog barks. When you begin to reign instead of run, that's when he feels the shift. Because now you are no longer asking to be chosen, you are choosing yourself. You're not just a moment in his life anymore, you become the standard. The one his heart keeps returning to, even when his hands let go. Think of the moon. It never chases the stars, yet the whole sky adjusts to its rhythm. It pulls tides, lights the night, and remains untouchable. You were never meant to chase like the wind. You were meant to rise like the moon, still, steady, and powerful beyond words. And once you do, he will feel the loss of your need for him like a silence that screams. Right now, you may feel tired of doing too much, giving too much, hoping he will see you. But let this be your moment, the moment you stop fighting for his love and start stepping into your own. Because you were not born to beg. You were born to reign, and when you start living like the woman who knows she's more than enough, the world around you, including him, can't help but take notice. So take your power back, hold your head higher, and let this truth settle in your heart. I do not chase. I reign, queens. Write this in the comments and claim it. And if this spoke to your soul, if it reminded you of your strength, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the real, the raw, and the life-changing truths you deserve.